Hey you guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. I wonder if that will ever not be awkward to say, but we're just gonna roll with it. If you guys are new here, my name's Angela. I make content all about my small business, Thrift in the City, and also about living in New York City because I live and run my business out of New York City. As for my business, I resell thrifted clothing and secondhand luxury bags, accessories, all of that. I'm constantly trying to make more content for you guys. If you guys don't already, follow us on Instagram. Just check us out at thrift_in_city_. A lot of my followers wanted tips on growing a following, starting a small business, or just even starting up as your side hustle. I'm definitely not recommending quitting your day job right away. That's what I did, and I was kind of hesitant at first to talk about this topic and give you guys business advice because I have only been running my business full-time for a couple months now, and I've seen a lot of success, and I'm really excited for the future and where I can take my company and my brand. Right now, I do kind of still consider myself a novice. I am going to give a little disclaimer. Each decision is up to you. Make sure you do your own research. You cannot rely on any one source. I'm just speaking from my personal experience. I'm going to run through what I have here is like 8 or 9 steps. These are obviously relative to me, and these are the steps I took. So in some cases, you will have to tweak a little bit. If you're trying to start up a tech company, you will have other barriers to entry that I do not know about and cannot help you with. For now, we're gonna start with this. I would be happy to make a second video for you guys, kind of talking more in depth about certain topics. If you still have questions at the end of the video, make sure you leave a comment, and then I'm gonna talk about my steps to getting started, and then also my tips and tricks for growing a following. So right here, I have step number 1 as pick your name for your business. That is kind of step number 1, but even before step number 1, we'll call it step 0.5, is you need an idea. My idea, I moved to Brooklyn out of college. I had a corporate job that I was working, and all of the time I was going thrifting and shopping and finding all of these amazing items, and I wanted other people to have these items because not all of them fit me, unfortunately. So that was my idea, and I took it and I ran with it. This was like 10 months ago that I even like started selling it all. So that is definitely like pre-step 1, you need an idea. A business venture of some kind. For this video, I'm gonna focus as if we're talking about my situation, which is an online boutique. Step number 1 is to think of a name for your company, but you cannot just pick any name. You need to make sure that you do your research because you don't want to pick and settle on a name that someone else already has copyright for or a trademark that you cannot use down the line, because then you'll put all of that work into building a brand off of this one business name, and then you have to go and switch it, which thankfully did not happen to me, but I know people it's happened to, and it just sucks. So make sure that you don't get yourself caught like halfway down the line and then you need to switch your whole name because your URL and no URL like related to your business is not available. For example, thriftinthecity.com was taken. It's a domain that is already purchased, but it's not even being used. But I would have to hunt down that person and pay like a third party to negotiate them selling me that domain name. That is a project for another day. You don't want that to happen to you. I was lucky and thriftinthecity.co was available, so that is the website that I currently have. I did my research and there was no other like huge business or even small business. There was like one Poshmark account called Thrift in the City. So I knew that my name was a good choice. At first it kind of just popped into my head, but it's grown on me so much and it's helped me grow the brand, so I'm very attached to it. Yeah, that's step number 1, is definitely your name. That is going to be your entire brand. So focus on that and making sure that you do the research. Step number 2 is something that people don't really think about right away, but you need a business email. You need an email to go and open up your bank account, to send invoices and address your customers, even just accept payments and stuff. You need to make a business email. I suggest using your domain name. So for me, my business email is just thriftinthecity.contact@gmail.com. Step number 3, you guys, is apply for an EIN. This is an employee identification number. This is used to pay your taxes, pay your employees if you are going to get employees. It's not 100% necessary right away. I suggest doing it because it's very easy. It's free on the IRS website, and it will make it easier when you go to apply for your LLC and to open your business bank account. You want to make sure that you can use the EIN number, because if you're a single member LLC, you can technically use your social security number, but me personally, I did not want to do that. You want to make sure that you're keeping your business and your personal assets as separate as possible for legal reasons and just for your own protection. I would recommend using a lawyer, making sure you're doing all the steps correctly, because I at first did not do that. I tried to skip that step and I thought I could get it done myself. I was wrong. I paid $300 for my EIN from a third party when it's supposed to be free. So consult with others, with experts when necessary. The next step is to open your business bank account. You want to do this as soon as possible before you even apply for your LLC, so that you can track all of your purchases, all of your expenses, sales. It's going to make it so much easier come tax season to have everything in one place and have it in a legitimate place, because if you do not have your purchases from your business bank account and they're like from a personal account, you're going to have to go back, include receipts, justify your purchases, and kind of just explain yourself, and it's more work for you. It's unnecessary. So make sure that you go and sit down with a banker. I use Bank of America. I have a great experience with them, and the bankers there are really helpful, but obviously choose the bank to your preference. They will also help you out with free resources in your area. My banker told me that I was considered a woman-owned minority small business, and that there are tons of free resources in New York City for me. So you never know what they could help you out with. So definitely try and talk to them and get some knowledge. Okay, you guys, I lost track already because my notes are a hot mess. I think this is 4 or 5. Anyway, this step is really important, and it is to apply for your LLC. Every state is different, so it's really important to do your research. I wanted to do New York City, but New York has a lot of weird laws. There's a publication law. You need to basically pay to run ads about your new business in small local newspapers. Something that's very outdated and that I did not want to do, and I do have residency in New York and New Jersey, so I chose to file my LLC in New Jersey. It was around $300. I know it can range anywhere from like $200–300 up to $3,000, and I would consult with your lawyer on this. The application is not that hard, but you want to make sure that you're doing everything right and the process is as seamless as possible. You can use a third party if you want, but I would suggest just making sure that you understand everything that you're doing and you sit down with a professional need be, because this is your business. You're putting the time and energy and capital into it. You want to make sure that everything is correct and that you're happy with all the decisions being made. Okay, you guys, so this would be number 6. It's to make your logo. I would recommend using a designer. I have a graphic designer that I work with. She's actually one of my good friends. I have no design skills whatsoever, so paying a designer, someone who kind of understands your aesthetic and the look that you're going for, and you two can kind of map it out and work together. That is what I believe is best. You also want to make sure that you get written consent to use their artwork, the logo that you paid for your own commercial use. That's just going to prevent like bumps down the road. If you're using your friend and you trust them, that's up to you, but that is what I recommend doing. Focusing on your logo and making one that you really like, that connects with your brand, and working to trademark that if you can. This next step is important, and it's not so necessary right away. You do want to trademark / copyright your name or logo if you can. This is a lot more complicated than the LLC, and I would definitely recommend speaking with a copyright trademark lawyer. And after you file, it takes like 3 months before they even get back to you. So it's kind of just a waiting game, but there's a lot of little steps and tiny little things in the application that are confusing and complicated, so I would not recommend doing this by yourself. Definitely to do it correctly the first time around is amazing. I personally think I will file another one for, sorry you guys, New York is loud. I think I am filing a second trademark just because I switched my logo and I want to protect myself and my brand as much as possible, and if anyone tries to infringe on your brand. So once you have your LLC, you have your business email, your bank account, your EIN, and everything is kind of set up, that's when I would recommend purchasing your URL, which is just the link that leads to your website, and building out your website. This is, again, something that you can hire and outsource. I personally built my website myself, and it's not great, it's not amazing. It works really well for me right now. You can tell when you look at it that it's a basic Shopify store, which totally works, and you can totally still convert sales, but down the line you are going to want to upgrade and make it look more professional. That will also help convert sales. When I set up my initial Shopify store, I used a combination of YouTube videos, Shopify like help articles, and also I pay for Skillshare, so I took some Skillshare courses, and that really helped me. But now going back, doing that by myself is just not realistic, so I am looking to outsource. You want to definitely have a store of your own, and when you pay for your URL, which I do recommend doing, don't use the free Shopify one because you won't have like an actual URL. We'll say .myshopify, whatever. So for that, I recommend using GoDaddy. A lot of people use. I use Namecheap. I've used them in the past as well, and I've never had a problem. Last step, Once you have all of your legal paperwork and ducks in a row, you want to make sure that you get your social channels going. This is how you're going to convert sales, grow a brand, most importantly, and connect with your customers. I use Instagram the most. That is how I interact with my customers every day. I post new items for sale. I hold live sales. All good things like that. You want to make sure that you can start doing that right away and start engaging customers. So to do that, you need to create content. So the social channels are what is going to tie everything together and help you to really grow your brand. Those are the quick steps that I took to get my business up and running. Now I'm going to share with you guys, these are my tips and tricks, and I'm still learning, so take everything I say with a grain of salt. If anyone has any questions, I'm always open to chatting on Instagram, down in the comments. Literally just let me know. I will talk your ears off. It's fine. So my number one tip, this is going to be the number one tip from any content creator, because it's true and it is the only way to grow, is be consistent. You cannot push out content for 3 days in a row and then go disappear for 2 weeks. No one's gonna care, no one's gonna remember who you are. Your customers are gonna quickly get bored. They're gonna see that you're not consistent and that you're not reliable. This means a lot of effort. You need to be working every day. Honestly, that's what running a business kind of means. It never turns off. Yes, you can set yourself hours and you could say, okay, 7 o'clock on, that's like my personal time, but you know in the back of your head that the business is not ever gonna turn off, and you just need to make sure that you're prepared. There are ways to do this and still keep your sanity and be prepared. Plan everything out. You don't need to say, oh, I woke up today, what should I post on Instagram? You need to make sure that you're planning it in advance so you don't get overwhelmed, so you're not late on things, and that you are truly being consistent and converting your followers, your customers, and keeping them engaged. So that's number one, is consistency. Number two, which I think this is one that a lot of people kind of forget, or they can't really fathom why they need to do this. This is to put a face and a name to your brand. This kind of creates an emotional attachment with your customers. If your customers see you posting products day in and day out, okay, they see your products, but they don't know who you are. They don't know who is selling to them. And this is something that kind of is an advantage for small business, because it's so hard for big corporations to do. But when it's one person running a small business, you're able to engage with your customers on a different level. This is something that I try and do all the time on Instagram. I try to talk to my customers. You guys ask me questions and people want to see tips and tricks, and so I'm here providing my tips and tricks. I'm not an expert by any means, but I'm able to listen to what my followers, my customers want to see more of, and to share that with you guys. So it's going to make people remember you, and it's going to make people come back. I have customers who I talk to all the time, and they're like my friends, and they buy from me all the time because they know I have good stuff. They know me personally now, and they trust me. So don't be afraid of putting yourself out there. It's easier said than done, I know, because for a long time I was very camera shy, but you need to do it. Number three, you guys, is authenticity. This kind of ties into the previous tip, which is obviously to put your face and your name out there and connect with your customers, but doing so in a non-authentic way is going to be picked up very easily. You just want to be real with people. If you have 10 things planned for one day and something is not going to get done on time, let people know. Say, hey guys, sorry, something came up today. This is gonna have to wait till tomorrow. Like, being honest and keeping everyone in the loop really helps, creates more trust with your customers. And I would always recommend being honest, being open. Obviously, you want to keep your personal life to yourself. There's a way to kind of find a nice balance between sharing too much and sharing nothing at all. I think you need to hit the sweet spot and you'll be good to go. This next tip also kind of ties into these, but it is to engage with your customers. You don't want to come on Instagram or like make a YouTube video and constantly be talking about your product and selling and pushing product all the time. Yes, that is a big part of the business, but you want to be able to talk to your customers and your audience and relate on other little topics. So for me, engaging with my customers often looks like going live, just talking to people outside of just selling. Okay, my camera died, so sorry if this is like a different frame. I was talking about engagement. Otherwise, they're going to get bored. They're not going to grow the same trust as they would if you were engaging with them. And as you continue to grow, this is obviously going to become difficult. You may need to kind of delegate certain tasks and even hire an assistant, hire other employees. This leads me to my last tip, which is really important, and that is to take a break when you need to and learn to delegate. As you continue to grow, and once you are running your side hustle full-time or you take it full-time, you're going to learn that there is a lot to get done, and you cannot always do everything in one day. You can't always do everything in 1 week. You can't always do everything by yourself. So Don't be afraid to take a break when you need. You have to be able to turn work off sometimes, or you're never going to succeed fully. You're gonna get sick of it and you're going to be tired. So make sure you kind of listen to your body and you seek out help when you need it. I hope this was helpful, you guys. I hope that you learned something from this video. If you have any questions, like I said, please reach out to me. Leave a comment down below. Like this video if you guys want more business content. I have some kind of thrift outfit lookbooks coming really soon that I'm excited for. So thanks for watching. I'll talk to you guys later.